Section 8 has officially hit meltdown mode, and now families all across the country are getting kicked out after their benefits that they so heavily relied on are vanishing. Today, though, we're specifically watching the ones who abuse the system get the harshest reality check of their lives. So subscribe and let's get into it.
now you threatening us, talking about if they get rid of the SNAP, but I'm gonna start stealing. Ain't that what you been doing? You been stealing. You been stealing. We're not gonna talk about every time I turn around and look on the internet, y'all stealing in Walmart, you're stealing in Walgreens, you're stealing in CVS, you're stealing everywhere. What is you talking about? That ain't no threat. You've been stealing. Let's not talk about the fact that most of y'all got Section 8 vouchers that are not even yours. You got 2, 3, 4 generations of Section 8 vouchers that you're using for somebody who ain't been in that Section 8 house in probably 10, 15 years. So let's not talk about, oh, you gonna start stealing. You done made a whole career out of stealing. At this point, you should be in retirement. You should be looking to retire from your stealing career. Ain't nobody afraid of you talking about you gonna go steal. And while you're stealing, please get you a loaf of bread. Oh my God, today, Boshando. Please get you a loaf of bread and some bologna and a little bit of cheese, mayo, Miracle Whip, whatever the hell it is that you like. Since you're stealing, steal you some Dijon mustard and make you a sandwich and shut the hell up. Because what I want you to hear me say is nobody give a damn about your threats about you stealing something. We used to your stealing. Then you mad because we don't want illegal people also over here stealing. We got to deal with your stealing and we got to deal with illegal people stealing too. What the hell is going on here? We sick of this You know what?
Some people really think that threatening to steal in broad daylight is going to make anyone bring EBT or any sort of benefits back, or even make their situation better, but the truth is that a lot of them were already bending the rules long before the benefits were cut anyways. Whether it was taking things from stores or abusing the system, it's still stealing, and it hurts the people who actually need the help.
Shameful, making me and my 3 children leave this house from the state you left my 3 children living in a moldy, disgusting house. Absolutely disgusting.
This mother of 3 was about to be evicted from her house.
You really cannot blame the landlord here in this case. You chose to have children without being financially stable, which is kind of your fault, so why is that suddenly his responsibility now? I mean, you can't expect people to hand you money and let you live rent-free just because you have kids.
It's not okay, it's not safe. It's not healthy, and I have a 4-year-old asthmatic daughter who can't even be here because it's not livable.
Ashley Abernathy says she's living a nightmare after moving into this duplex on Harvard Avenue in July. Hours after moving in, she learned the sinks in the kitchen and bathroom won't drain. Most of the electrical outlets don't work. Even the refrigerator had to be moved by the sink and the only kitchen outlet that has power. But there's more.
Feces are in the basement. We were getting this weird smell from the vents. And one day I went down and water, toilet paper rolls, urine, feces are just floating at the bottom of the stairs in the basement.
Even the carpet, a tripping hazard, now pulled up after Abernathy went to Cleveland Building and Housing and asked for an inspection. She claims she took that route when Parma Public Housing and the management company JBS Realty allegedly failed to act. But she believes her actions led to retaliation and her eviction.
Not a day later, I received a 3-day notice.
Abernathy tells me she has no idea where she'll live now and admits she used foul language out of frustration. She said that cost her the Section 8 voucher that covered her rent.
It was already pretty bad enough that you were living off the government money instead of getting a job and paying for your own lifestyle, which would be a lot more gratifying, but what more do you want now? I mean, should everyone chip in so you can move into a penthouse too? I suggest that you step into the real world and lock in, apply for some jobs, and just turn your life around.
Hello everybody, Berkeley with Rental Household here. So I don't know if you guys know or if you've seen, but Trump is going to make Section 8 now a 2-year program, and he's giving everybody 30 to 90 days or 30 to 60 days. I think it's 30 to 90 to GTFO, basically. So buckle up. Buckle up.
Buckle up indeed. The free ride is definitely pretty much over now, and it's time to pack things up and try to get a real job because American taxpayers seem to have had enough.
All right, so this is the first year that I've heard of the guidelines for Section 8 changing. So now, if you are a parent with a child under 18 years of age, you either have to be working 40 hours minimum per week, or you have to be declared disabled and receiving some type of SSI or whatever. So a lot of people are going to lose their housing. A lot of people are going to be losing their housing, it sounds like. People who have relied on these programs for housing with 5+ kids, they're going to lose their housing because of this new whatever that's gone into effect. That's going to put a lot of people on the streets. And didn't something just go into effect that you can't be homeless too? What a domino effect.
Having kids for paychecks and housing is no longer a career plan, and naturally a lot of people are going to lose their homes because of it. But on the brighter side of things, it is going to push plenty of people into actually working and making a living and doing better for themselves, which is going to be good. And that's something we definitely need a little bit more of.
So because of that video I made of my family of 7 living in a 2-bedroom apartment and me only paying $50, somebody on here was so miserable to go report me. Now they gave me an eviction notice for 30 days.
I'm not sure where the humor is in this. Because those are children losing their home. All because somebody had something. And if you have something good for you going, and somebody else wants it, they're going to try to take it. If they want it. And if they cannot take it, they're going to make sure you can't have it either. They will destroy it. Just so they cannot have it. Just because. And then they would do stuff like laugh about it and say it's funny that they caused you pain, but not just you. Because you weren't the only one staying there. I'm sorry, this happened to you? And if the person who made this video isn't the one who did it, I'm pretty sure karma will come for you because you found it hilarious. And, well, God works in mysterious ways. I pray they go easy on you.
It's definitely a sad situation for those kids. There's no doubt about that. But if you choose to sit around living off American taxpayers instead of working hard and providing for yourself, like in this case, the least you can do is not make such a fuss about it given the situation at hand. When you openly brag about how you're taking advantage of people, you're really asking for what comes next.
In 2 years, I'm going to lose my housing. They're saying that if you have a child that is school aged, you have to be able to obtain employment, have a full-time job, and you cannot be on Section 8.
Yes, we can believe it. If you step outside your house and look around, you'll see that most people are working and providing for themselves. Naturally, that's just how that works. So you really need to hop off the entitlement train here and just start filling out the job applications and, again, locking in so you could properly finally live like a normal adult, like those hopefully surrounded around you.
Okay, listen up, guys. I have a big update, okay? The process for removing lifelong Section 8 housing recipients has been drafted. So this is what it says. So people will not be allowed to get Section 8 for more than 2 years. Let's go, because in 2 years you should have your shit together. I don't care what nobody say, unless you disabled. October 2025 is when they're supposed to be doing the budget for 2026. So that's only in a couple of months. These rules will be sent to the states. The states will then notify tenants who have been on Section 8 for longer than 2 years. Because why are you still on Section 8, Mom? Okay. They'll notify you and give you 60 to 90 days, making you aware that the program would end for you in 60 to 90 days. A 60 versus 90-day notice will depend on the state that you live in. Public Housing Authority representatives will be making contact with the people who are currently on Section 8, beginning with who has been on the program the longest. Okay? Section 8 will no longer be a lifestyle passed down from generation to generation. Let's go, let's go. That's called get off your ass and go to work. I'm sorry. Or, this is just a thought. Stop having kids that you can't afford to take care of and wanting somebody else in the government to help you take care of your kids, okay? While you get 30-inch bust downs and you get your nails done and your toes done and you going to Miami, you getting BBLs, baby. Get a job, okay? I'm happy. If you ain't happy, that means that you've been sitting on your ass too long. Get your ass up and go get a job, okay? The recruiting office is open. Baby, go get them good benefits, okay? That's just a suggestion. If you don't know where to start with the military, okay? Go to the recruiting office, all right? If you want some benefits for life, because at least you will earn those benefits, okay? All right, you guys have a great night.
Section 8 was always meant to be temporary assistance, yet so many people treated it like a monthly generational paycheck that they were somehow, some way entitled to. But working Americans are really tired of carrying that burden for their families, and now the entire system is really just imploding and changing for the good.
I did a video on my page about posting an eviction notice and it went crazy. I wanted to share this video because I had both sides chiming in the comments, and I know what it's like to be on both sides because I was homeless with my 3 small children because of a situation where a tenant was not paying the rent. It was one of the most embarrassing, humbling situations in my life because my children were old enough to know exactly what we were going through. Living in our car, bathing at gyms, going to the storage unit to change them, it wasn't a... I don't post a video like that because I want to see a mom in a position that I was in. But as a landlord, I also have a responsibility for what I'm trying to do for my very own kids, the same kids we're thinking about on the other side. So it's really about us working together and understanding that it's a team effort to even have the property in a good standing so that we can both win. I love having this conversation though, so let me know in the comments, do you see both sides or do you still feel like one side has it worse than the other?
I don't understand how some people try to gain sympathy and paint landlords as the villains for evicting them. If you're not paying for rent, you're taking away the income the landlords use to support their own families, and that makes you the bad guy here, not them. It's like it's a circular thing.
December 12th. Tiffany Harrington was evicted from her Burlington Housing Authority apartment for non-payment of rent. Officials at BHA claimed they had no choice but to evict Harrington, a single mom, because she owed a little less than $9,000. Despite struggling to find work because of a past criminal history, BHA denied her housing vouchers that would have made housing more affordable because she was not eligible. In a cruel irony, unnecessarily manufactured by a housing assistance framework designed to protect private property over people, it is only now that she's been kicked out of her apartment that Harrington is eligible for housing assistance. Under capitalism, even human service agencies conceived to help people in need are beholden to the interests of landlords and capitalist government policies, ready to throw people out in the cold for the misfortune of not being able to find work. BHA spokesperson Stephen Murray says that BHA is designed to provide affordable housing, not free housing. If this is the case, then why was Harrington refused vouchers that would have made her housing more affordable rather than forcing her to pay market rates? He claims he didn't want to issue the eviction and had no choice. If the basic human decency of having a warm place to live in a cold northern state isn't possible because of a system that prioritizes property over people, then we say that system has to go. No one should be made homeless because the system decides the profit of a landlord is more important than the health and safety of a single mother and her child. Under capitalism, people are evicted while thousands of homes remain vacant. This is a fundamental violence that capitalism requires to function. However, under socialism, housing would be a guaranteed right, and Tiffany Harrington would not have been forced out of her home in the middle of winter. It is well past time to demand a new society that puts people before profits, won by the working class, for the working class.
In an ideal world, everyone would have a roof over their head, but we don't live in an ideal world, unfortunately. So it's really simply not that possible. If people were given everything they needed without lifting a finger, then no one would ever bother working and the entire system would fail and just fall apart. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense.
If I'm going to sleep outside in a tent, I have an 8-month-old to worry about. And I don't need anything happening to me or her at the end of the day.
For every homeless person, it's scary. And for a single mom to be out here that's disabled, oh my gosh.
That is the victim card that some people like to play. You know, I hate to be a little bit harsh here, but 8 months ago, she probably could have prevented becoming a single mom, or at least been a little bit more long-term thinking in regards to financial realities about things. But being careless and having a baby in this economy, and especially in your situation, isn't a great excuse to suddenly expect free money from the government. You know, there's definitely systems that will help, but some shouldn't.
I'm struggling and I'm stressed the out. But I try my best to hold it together because I have to. I have to. I just came out and I told my kids, Mommy might be leaving again. And I don't want to leave them. But it's it's getting to the point where it's I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I have so much against me, and I can't catch a break to save my freaking life. I can't. I'm trying.
That is a clear example of poor financial management. You know, she claims that she can't afford rent, yet somehow has the money to leave town and go online, creating videos and asking strangers for funding. I mean, no real sane person is going to entertain essentially a criminal who plays these kind of games online or in person.
Part two, it is absolutely okay to desire to have some type of subsidy or based on income housing, because right now a lot of people are just frustrated with, the check not adding up, the income not incoming. So it's yes, people want wait lists, they want subsidy housing. Yes, they're breaking ground on new complexes and new communities in Atlanta and Fulton County because they need housing. The homeless population is constantly increasing. Evictions have not stopped. They're still going on. So yes, I understand. I'm nodding my head because even a mom who works really hard, who only has 1 or 2 kids and works a good, decent job, a lot of people still can't afford to live. They can't afford to live. And this is not their fault, because I feel like working class people that work, go to work every day, get up, do what they got to do, they should be able to afford housing. But guess what? The housing's so damn high, nobody can afford the shit. Everybody has to have a roommate. Everybody has to house a. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking to the people in the back who make more than $100K. They not having a problem. They got good credit. They don't have no kids. They single high earners. I'm not talking to you. I know you good. I'm talking to my single moms and dads, or even my newly college grads, or people newly out of high school, anybody struggling trying to figure out the next step, whether it's paying rent, educational, their next educational level, what they want to do. Let me tell you something. Don't feel bad for feeling bad. Don't feel bad for not knowing what the fuck is going on. Don't feel bad for thinking this shit is too high. Every time I look at a price sheet for an apartment complex, I look at it and I be like, this what they charging in this area? I'm big on demographics. Why the fuck are y'all charging $18.59 in a demographic where the people barely make $10, $12 an hour? Why is the rent $1,800, and why do you want 2.5 and 3 times the rent? Let me tell you something. One thing I learned about these owners though, when they get desperate, baby, they change the rules so fast. So what I seen all the time is, we'll take 1.5 times the rent, or we'll take 2 times the rent, because they're desperate to get the shit filled up. I've seen this too many times, especially with tax credit. They'll do anything to get the shit leased up. Then they'll go back and change all the rules and say, we don't do that. So be mindful. And I always keep a copy of what somebody give you an email, because if you don't agree with something or something not making sense in this tax credit or HUD, we need to go holler at National Housing Compliance. Yup. You can always tell on the management company. And if you want to learn how, link is in the bio.
That is an interesting take, and I do agree with her to an extent. Rent prices are definitely quite high. But what she fails to understand is that the government focused on people who were fully capable of working, yet chose to sit at home and rely entirely on assistance to cover their rent. And those are the ones responsible for the government really taking harsh steps. It just kind of ruined it for the rest of everyone, which really sucks.
Y'all, lady just received 10 years for lying on her Section 8 application. Lied. Now, don't ask me how she did it, but she was on Section 8 for 3 years before they caught on to her. This woman done got 10 years. Now, imagine lying to provide a stable environment for your kids. Just to provide a stable environment for your kids. And now, you can't even be a part of your kid's life. Y'all, I think more people should be disciplined for lying on paper. Stop putting yourself in situations where you have to be taken away from your kids. It's like people was going to go get them stimulus checks. It's like people was going to go get lying on a food stamp application. That's a federal crime. Lady, you lied on your Section 8 application in order to get a place to live, and now you have to go spend 10 years of your life in federal prison? Y'all, this is heartbreaking, man. It's too many women out here, man, single as it is, and fathers is absent. Y'all let me know what y'all think about.
She was most likely trying to freeload off the government because she knew that she was not going to be approved if she told the truth about her income. And let's be honest, a lot of people do this, even outside of EBT and benefits. But it's super sad for her kids here, because if she tried to defraud the government, then she kind of had it coming from the start. You know, what comes around does go around.
Something I'm gonna have to deal with. Where am I gonna put my stuff?
So what are you saying? Are you saying you paid them?
Yes.
You paid in full?
I haven't had no follow-up court dates, nothing.
No, well, I'm not talking about court dates. I'm talking about, are you saying you paid? Or you still owe money?
I owe them for the last month because I don't have no hot water because they've got to do an inspection.
Right.
For the line, for the water line.
Okay, so you've been waiting on?
Have you? Them to do that, I don't even have hot water.
Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, if you haven't paid rent,
last month.
You know this is unresolved. And so you just waiting for me to show up?
No, I was waiting to hear back from him to see if everything was clear.
If the apartment had problems and the landlord wasn't fixing them, you should have filed a proper complaint instead of deciding to not pay rent, because that's just going to create more problems, more stress, legalities, and more issues for you that you really don't need. So it's pretty clear that you probably knew what you were doing during that. Either way, though, that concludes the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to never miss content like this in the future, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay strong.